Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as we are here with our PWU 2023 year-end awards nominations video. Now we have 15 categories that we will be talking about today as far as all the awards do go, and the awards will be fan voted by you guys. You, the fans, will be voting on all of these awards, and then we're going to do another video telling you who actually won. Now, the voting does begin today, January 24th, 2024, and you could do so by hitting the link in the description below or just going to PWUnlimited.co/year-end23. So with that, let's get in and talk about our first category right here.
Event of the Year. AEW All In 2023. WWE WrestleMania 39. AEW/NJPW Forbidden Door 2023. WWE Backlash 2023. AEW Revolution 2023. WWE SummerSlam 2023.
The first category we do have is Event of the Year. It's all AEW and WWE that swept this category with the nominations itself. The ones that really stand out to me, though, All In 2023 and WrestleMania 39. I mean, both of those shows were tentpole key big shows of the year for both promotions. And I think one of those two, I think, will be picking up the victory here, taking the win and getting the award. Let's now send it over to our next award.
Promotion of the Year. WWE. AEW. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Impact Wrestling. Stardom.
Now, promotion of the year, you might say, okay, it's either going to be AEW or WWE, but I think there's a slight chance that depending on how the voting goes, yeah, it's probably going to be AEW, WWE, but Stardom could creep up there and maybe not win, but take that second spot because Stardom has been doing some great stuff in 2023. As far as the next category does go, let's check it out here.
Booker of the Year. Triple H, WWE main roster. Tony Khan, AEW. Shawn Michaels, WWE NXT. Geta, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Scott D'Amore, Impact Wrestling. Rossy Ogawa, Stardom.
Now, with Booker of the Year, for the last 3-4 years, you may go, yeah, Tony Khan, but it ain't just Tony Khan anymore. With Triple H running the main roster of WWE, there's a really good chance that old Paul Levesque, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, whatever you want to call him, takes this one. Now, Tony Khan could still win it, as many think that he is the best booker right now, but I don't think it's as deadlocked with Tony Khan as the front runner as it has been in years past. Now, let's check out the next category.
Promo of the Year. Bryan Danielson. Cody Rhodes. MJF. LA Knight. Eddie Kingston. Tony Storm. Christian Cage.
A promo of the year, and let me describe this one for a second. It's not like a specific promo that these wrestlers cut. It's just they're the best that we feel on the microphone. They're the best wrestlers on the mic throughout the entire year or backstage doing skits and so forth, like with Tony Storm. So that is what promo of the year actually encompasses, whether you are really good at backstage skits or promos, in-ring promos, and just non-wrestling things that sees how entertaining you can actually be without throwing a punch, kick, or so forth. Now, go on to the next category.
Feud of the Year. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
Now, with Feud of the Year, you can kind of talk about this in a number of different ways. The feud can be where it's like a culmination of 2-3 matches or more that come to a head, or just a super long storyline that eventually comes to a head. I mean, you have Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, they had 3 matches. You have Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, they had 1 match, but that was after a very long story that finally finished. So it depends on what you feel is a better type of feud for how you're going to vote and which feud you think really killed it. I mean, we even have Swerve and Hangman that had 2 really great matches and good storytelling in between as well. Now, on to the next category.
Match of the Year. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 17. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. AEW/NJPW Forbidden Door 2023. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. WWE WrestleMania 39. The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. WWE WrestleMania 39. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. WWE WrestleMania 39. Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny. WWE Backlash 2023. MJF versus Bryan Danielson. AEW Revolution 2023. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. AEW Wrestle Dream 2023. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. AEW Full Gear 2023.
Now, Match of the Year is a category that I feel is completely wide open. Like, there's so many good matches. You have 2 from Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. WrestleMania had a number of great matches. Heck, Bryan Danielson's got 2 nominations in this category. Then you have that crazy, crazy match from Full Gear with Swerve and Hangman. Next category, let's check it out here.
Announcer of the Year. Nigel McGuinness. Samantha Irvin. Kevin Kelly. Michael Cole. Ian Riccaboni.
Now, Announcer of the Year, this is another category that can be seen a couple of different ways, whether that is an announcer announcing the participants coming to the ring or an announcer doing commentary during said match. It's wide open, and you can see it a couple of different ways. It's about getting you hyped for the match. Somebody that piques your interest and keeps you interested as far as your hype level does go, whether that's like a Samantha Irvin doing her super cool hyped up intros, or like a Kevin Kelly or Nigel McGuinness really laying in the story and telling you what you're watching, with maybe not even having to pay too much attention to the match itself, but still knowing what's going on. With that, let's check out the next category right here.
Manager of the Year. Prince Nana. Paul Heyman. Don Callis.
With Manager of the Year, you see that there's not many people nominated, and that's because these 3 men really just blew it out of the water. There's really nobody else that's on the level of these 3 men, Prince Nana, Paul Heyman, and Don Callis, and that's why there's so little nominated. I mean, I know who I would vote for. I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win this, and there's one man that's probably going to dance his way to victory. With that, let's check out our next category.
Breakout Wrestler of the Year. Trick Williams. Swerve Strickland. Tiffany Stratton. Julia Hart, Yota Tsuji, Billy Starks,
Now, with Breakout Wrestler of the Year, this is the category where you've been around for a couple of years, and in Swerve's case, you've been around for a while, but the mainstream has finally noticed what you've been doing. The mainstream has finally said, that could be our guy. That can be our girl. That's somebody we want to root for, whether they're a heel or a babyface. That person impressed me more this year than they ever have in the past. And we saw that. Swerve Strickland had a breakout year in AEW. Trick Williams had a breakout year in NXT. And even Billy Starks doing things in Ring of Honor that many people probably didn't see, but still so many people were talking about. Puts her on this list. Now, let's check out the next category.
Rookie of the Year, Izzy Morano, Lola Vince, Kalani Jordan, Oleg Bolton, Oba Femi.
Now, with Rookie of the Year, this one was kind of hard because it's like, do we just pick somebody who this is the first year they've ever had matches? Or do we pick somebody who this is like the first fleshed out year they've ever had matches? And that's kind of what we did. We picked people that this was the first year that they really got spotlighted within the world of professional wrestling. Whether that was someone like an Izzy Moreno, who had her first ever matches in 2023, or someone like a Lola Vice, who did work some matches not really televised in 2022, but then was really pushed and seen in 2023. Now, let's check out the next category.
Faction of the Year, the Blackpool Combat Club, Judgment Day, Bloodline, House of Black, Damage Control, Bullet Club Gold.
Now, a faction of the year, there's so many great groups in the world of professional wrestling that have 3 or more members in said group. And with that, as a group, not only do they feel like, oh, they're a good group that can have good matches and win big matches, but they feel like a cohesive unit and they feel like a family. And that, in my opinion, is what makes a great faction. A faction that feels like more than just wrestlers put together, but wrestlers that have a great bond, almost, if not, like a family. Now let's check out the next category here.
Female Wrestler of the Year, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Io Sky, Athena, Becky Lynch, Mayu Iwatani, Julia, Bianca Belair, Julia Hart.
Now, similar to factions, a great tag team is a duo that has a great bond. A duo that really trusts one another, and a duo that at times you can feel like, whoa, they may not have known each other forever, but their cohesiveness together makes you think that they may have came out the womb together. Now, with that, we got 2 categories left, so let's check out one of them right here.
Female Wrestler of the Year, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Io Sky, Athena, Becky Lynch, Mayu Iwatani, Julia, Bianca Belair, Julia Hart,
Female Wrestler of the Year is one of the harder ones for me to vote in. I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win, but there's a slight chance that someone else can take it. I'm going to say right now, might be Mommy, might be Rhea Ripley, but there's also a chance that maybe there's those fans that are like, no, AEW has got Tony Storm over here killing it with the timeless gimmick, and maybe we go that route. Heck, maybe even somebody that broke out this year in Japan like Julia, who was listed on this list, could take that main spot because, well, she's also had great matches here in the United States for New Japan, so it's not like, oh, a lot of people haven't seen her. A lot of people really have. And finally, let's check out our last category.
Male Wrestler of the Year, Cody Rhodes, MJF, Gunther, Will Ospreay, LA Knight, Bryan Danielson, Seth Rollins.
With Male Wrestler of the Year, there's a couple people that really stand out in this one, like MJF, Cody Rhodes, and Will Ospreay. But it doesn't mean that one of those are actually going to take it. There's other people in this category also that are deserving, like a Seth Rollins or a Gunther. So again, this is another category that I feel is open and not so straightforward and deadlocked like some of the other ones. But with that, those are all the nominations for the Pro Wrestling Unlimited Year-End Awards for 2023. Remember, if you would like to vote, you can do so starting right now with a link in the description below or by going to PWUnlimited.co/year-end23. Again, you have 2 weeks to vote, and the voting will close on February 7th. So with that, hit that link and go vote, and let's see what you fans truly liked.